Good evening. I am Sir Mildred Morgan of Southwest Canada. I live in New Brunswick, near Nova Scotia. Now, what you're about to witness will astound, intrigue, and possibly touch you inappropriately. Genetically altered foods. Corn. We all know and love this corn. It's yellow and can be white. It is also a staple food of Mexico, a Latin word which means man. People are able to change this corn by splicing genes from one breed to another to provide some type of super corn. This corn is more powerful than normal corn, as it is more fragrant, tasteful, and sexually active. We will now examine the different aspects of genetic engineering. Furthermore, we will grow to know and love this super corn. I need a drink.
This article was published in FDA Consumer Magazine several years ago.
Good evening and welcome to CNBC's coverage of genetics. I am Cuba Gooding Jr. and would like to welcome my most esteemed colleague and best friend, Mr. Clancy Woodrow. Clancy, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Have a seat.
I'm able to come.
Now, Mr. Clancy, I've got a few questions for you regarding your works. Now, what is new biotechnology in reference to food plants, and how does it differ from old biotechnology?
What you have to remember is all plant breeding involves genetic manipulation of plants. There are hundreds of new plant varieties introduced every year in the United States. All have been genetically modified through traditional plant breeding techniques such as cross-fertilization or section plants to produce desired traits. This is old biotechnology. You need one.
So, of course. I can use it to tan and trim my bikini line. Oh, this might seem obvious to you, even though it really doesn't. But why do we need these plants and the food that they produce?
Well, plant breeders have a limited pool of genes, and therefore trait available for use in improving plants. By looking at bacteria and animals, scientists can find other traits that may expand the number of potentially useful traits. These may include solid content, or resistance to certain viruses or fungi.
Of course. Now, the final question, Mr. Clancy. Are there environmental risks involved in producing genetically altered foods? I could recall a hot summer day when I was a young lass, strapping young lass, and I was eating a tomato. This tomato was biogenetically engineered to be more ripe, plump, and red.
Was it a cherry tomato?
It was indeed a cherry.
Great tomatoes.
Now, this food was genetically altered, of course, but I realized upon eating it that within the next several weeks I developed a small rash near my upper thigh. This may have been from some other activity, but if there's anything you could do to clear this up, I would greatly appreciate it.
Well, the first thing you have to realize is that potential environmental risks made from these crops are the same as those that occur in plants developed by traditional methods. There are many complex issues, such as potential adverse effects on other organisms, particularly endangered species that need to be taken into account. For example, if a plant has many plant species with some undesirable traits, the wild plant could develop into a fast-growing weed species. For instance, for some crops like tomatoes. Tomatoes. Potatoes! The potato! This really isn't a risk in the United States. Because Waldorf, what are you doing here? With some undesirable traits, wild plants could develop into a fast-growing weed species. For instance, for some crops like tomatoes, it really isn't a risk in the United States because there are few, if any, relatives of tomatoes that could be bred accidentally. But there are a few other plants, such as soybeans, squash, tomatoes, potatoes, scratch the last three, that will be potential for an outcross species. Whether outcrossing is a problem depends on the traits that's introduced as well.
Interesting. Now, what you're saying basically makes no sense in any way, shape, or form.
You're
basically a bum in which I picked off the street to come perform and speak with us.
Thank you.
That we killed 15 minutes of our time. Now to Hugh Downs with his money line.
Do you like this? What? I told you. Well, listen to me. If you get the plastic Tupperware, then we can give it to the people. Yeah. I don't care how Henrietta gets down there. Just pick her up. She's an elderly woman. Yes? Of course. You think I do not know that? Look, a video cassette would last 120 minutes. 10th boot shop. At 5. Yes. All invited. Look, I hosted the teddy bear picnic last year, and I'm going to host it this year. No, don't give me that. You will be there. You will bring the family. It's the kids, too. Lovely children, yes. Your neighbors. The so wonderful, yes. Uh-huh. Well, see here. Let me tell you something. All right? The tomatoes do not belong in that salad. All right? Ethel brings the regular salad. She brings over here with the vinaigrette. It's great. I love Italians. They're great. Yes. What do you mean it's all sold out? I rented the Sound of Music last year. And I swear it was rented for this year. Don't give me that. I swear on the holy that they will have it. Yeah. Fine. You know what? Take your earring back. I don't like it. It's stupid and I hate it. Yeah, take your shoes too. I have a whole basket full of them. And that picture of you on the wall that I drew. It's mine. Remember that downstairs bathroom we had? I drew 2 pictures of you. I have actually 5. There's 3 in the other room. Yeah, I don't. And then I have remember that constitutional thing I wrote on free speech and free liberties to all people of the nations. Of course. And you left your bangle here, your pillow, and your telephone for World War II. Fine. Well, I'll see you at the teddy bear picnic with Ethel and Ruth and blah, blah, blah. All right. Sound of Music. At 5. Tupperware. Blue plastic, Ziploc. Okay, thank you.